push to free movement. And funding cuts and vaccine hesitancy blamed for Texas measles outbreak. Hello and welcome to the ZIZ Midday Newscast. Today is Monday, April 14th, 2025. I'm your presenter, Shanique Harvey. Nationally, members of Team Unstoppable SKN, the Federation's Carifta track and field team, had the incredible opportunity to meet and engage with Olympic gold medalist Thea LaFond Gadsden at the Eastern Caribbean Central Bank's 9th Annual Growth and Resilience Dialogue in St. Kitts. LaFond Gadsden, who made history by securing Dominica's first ever Olympic gold medal in the triple jump at the 2024 Paris Games, shared her inspiring journey from her early days in Dominica to achieving global athletic excellence. The ECCB's Growth and Resilience Dialogue, held on April 10th to 11th, 2025, focused on transformative themes including indigenous tourism, data infrastructure, sports tourism, and electronic vehicles or EVs, aiming to foster regional development and growth. This encounter served as a powerful source of motivation for our athletes as LaFond Gadsden emphasized the importance of resilience, dedication, and the pursuit of excellence, values that resonate deeply with Team Unstoppable SKN. SKN Athletics extends its heartfelt thanks to Thea LaFond Gadsden for her time and insights, and to the ECCB for facilitating this meaningful interaction. A week-long hands-on meat-cutting training course spearheaded by the Department of Agriculture in St. Kitts in collaboration with the Inter-American Institute for Cooperation on Agriculture, or IICA, concluded successfully on April 11th, 2025. The training began on Tuesday, April 8th, and was held at the St. Kitts Abattoir, where participants received practical instruction focused on the safe and efficient processing of pork and beef. Topics included carcass breakdown techniques, the identification of primal and subprimal cuts, proper meat handling and packaging, and skill reinforcement through comprehensive assessments. The program was led by Mr. Peter Daniels, an experienced production manager from Jamaica with over 30 years in the meat processing industry. His expertise guided participants through advanced techniques in meat fabrication aimed at improving industry practices and product quality. This initiative supports the Ministry of Agriculture's broader objective to raise local processing standards and strengthen the porcine industry. The training was well received and is expected to contribute to a more skilled workforce and higher quality meat production across the Federation. The St. Kitts Electricity Company Limited, or SKELEC, is reminding the public of its scheduled maintenance outages for this week, beginning on April 14th and ending on April 18th. For today, April 14th, in Fort Tyson Rise, Frigate Bay, will be without electricity until 3 p.m. On Tuesday, April 15th, on Bird Rock Road in the vicinity of Hobson Enterprises and Wigley Avenue will be without power between the hours of 9 a.m. to 1 p.m. While on Wednesday, 16th April, in Tabernacle Village, Upper Timberlane, George Peace, the outage will begin at 9 a.m. and end at 1 p.m. And on Thursday, April 17th, between 9 a.m. and 3 p.m., Buckley's Park in the vicinity of Magnolia Residencies will be without electricity. Meanwhile, SKELEC is reminding its customers that its offices will be closed on Friday, 18th April and Monday, 21st April 2025 in recognition of Good Friday and Easter Monday. The offices will reopen on Tuesday, 22nd April 2025. We move now to news on the regional scene. CARICOM ministers of labor have agreed to adopt a harmonized and sustained approach to key labor issues affecting the free movement of people within the region. The decision was made at the 34th special meeting of the Council for Human and Social Development on Labor, held on April 8th in Georgetown. The meeting, chaired by Grenada's Attorney General and Labor Minister Senator Claudette Joseph, brought together labor ministers, technical experts, and regional stakeholders to align their positions ahead of the June 2025 International Labor Conference. The discussions took place as CARICOM advances its single market and economy agenda. CARICOM Secretary General Dr. Carla Barnett noted that most member states have signed the protocol on enhanced cooperation, enabling willing countries to advance free movement ahead of others. She highlighted the importance of coordinated labor policies to support regional integration. Senator Joseph reaffirmed the region's commitment to implementing free movement, noting that ratification of the key protocols is nearing completion. The protocol, adopted in 2022, allows deeper collaboration among states ready to proceed, even if others are not yet prepared to join fully. Trinidad and Tobago's state of emergency, or SOE, declared to curb rising violent crime, officially ended on April 13, 2025, after 105 days. Initially enacted by former Prime Minister Keith Rowley on December 30, 2024, the SOE aimed to counter an alarming spike in gang violence. Current Prime Minister Stuart Young upheld the measure, citing a deadly gang war as a key trigger. Upon the SOE's conclusion, 39 detainees held without charges under emergency laws were released from two major facilities. However, 11 individuals remain in custody and face criminal charges, with 3 more expected to be charged. During the SOE, police were granted expanded powers, including warrantless searches. Critics argue these measures had limited impact on crime and raised civil liberty concerns. With the SOE over, the government now faces growing pressure to deliver lasting security solutions without infringing on citizens' rights. Internationally, Texas is at the center of a nationwide measles outbreak, with over 540 of more than 700 U.S. cases this year, already surpassing last year's total. 2 children have died in Gaines County, where the outbreak began and spread due to low vaccination rates. Health officials blame years of stagnant funding and rising vaccine hesitancy. Federal cuts have worsened the situation. In March, Health Secretary Robert F. Kennedy Jr. oversaw the cancellation of $2 billion in COVID-era immunization funds, including $125 million in Texas. Clinics have closed, outreach has been slashed, and vaccination rates are dropping. Only 92.7% of U.S. kindergartners were vaccinated in 2023, below the 95% needed to prevent outbreaks. Experts warn that without restored funding and stronger public trust, more preventable diseases could return. And finally, in international news, China's exports jumped 12.4% in March as companies rushed to ship goods before steep U.S. tariffs took effect. The move led to a $102.6 billion trade surplus for the month. Analysts say the surge is temporary. Julian Evers Pritchard of Capital Economics has stated, quote, "It could be years before Chinese exports regain current levels," end quote. President Trump raised tariffs on most Chinese goods to 145%, prompting China to retaliate with 125% tariffs and export controls on critical minerals. U.S. importers front-loaded shipments, but trade is expected to drop sharply from April. China's exports rose 5.8% in the first quarter, while imports fell 7%. Exports to Southeast Asia, Africa, and India grew, with Vietnam up nearly 17%. Meanwhile, rare earth exports fell 11% amid tighter controls. Beijing is shifting focus to regional trade, with President Xi Jinping visiting Vietnam, Malaysia, and Cambodia to strengthen ties. And now for the weather. Present weather is partly cloudy skies. Winds are a gentle breeze of 10 miles per hour from the northeast. The temperature for today is 29 degrees Celsius or 84 degrees Fahrenheit. Seas are 1 to 1.5 meters or 3 to 5 feet. The weather forecast for today predicts partly sunny skies with brief cloudy spells and a 60% or moderate chance of brief passing afternoon showers. Tonight is expected to be partly cloudy skies with brief cloudy spells and a 60% or moderate chance of brief passing overnight showers. Sunset for today will be at 6:27 p.m. and sunrise for tomorrow will be at 5:56 a.m. And that brings us to the end of the ZIZ Midday Newscast. Join us this evening for these stories and more in detail. Thank you for tuning in. I'm your presenter, Shanique Harvey.